Maestro. Maestro, which is Bradley Cooper playing what's his name? Leonard
Leonard
Bernstein.
Bernstein.
Yeah, Leonard Bernstein. In an is an Oscar nominated performance for both him and Carey Mulligan. It's been nominated for Best Picture and all that kind of stuff, and it's essentially like a biopic. But Holly, tell us about this. Tell us about Maestro.
I mean, the summary is remarkably brief and remarkably straightforward. It is about the life of Leonard Bernstein, the composer, conductor, extraordinarily talented, breathtakingly talented man, and his personal life, including his marriage to Carey Mulligan's character.
Felicia no, it's not Montague. It's something else. But carry on, yeah.
And he is also gay, or at the very least, bisexual. And this is all very well known. So this is a good old-fashioned biopic, or biopic, depending on how people choose to pronounce. And it is beautiful. It's the first half of the film, first third of the film is done in black and white.
Felicia Montalegre.
Thank you. And then moves into colour. They have made Bradley Cooper look remarkably like Bernstein, which has received
especially as he grows older. Especially as he grows older, it is freaky how much they made him look like him.
And he is. Bernstein was, I suppose, what one could say, it could be described as fell into the sort of some of the stereotypical Jewish features category.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy about the fact that they gave him a prosthetic nose to play Bernstein, because people were saying that it's kind of like Jew face or something.
Yes, which is that was widely debated, but this was very much supported by Bernstein's family.
Yes,
which I always think is an interesting point when looking at all of these things. But they made him look uncannily like Bernstein. Wow. It was really well done.
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful, sad film with wonderful, wonderful music. That sweeps you away. The contrast of black and white and colour is quite something. The acting is spectacular. I feel it lost out a bit, and this was another one where Steph and I did our remote watching together, because we are on target for our 52 films in 52 weeks, excluding these. But we're also trying to make sure we've been through as many of the Oscar films as we can.
Yeah.
And we both felt that it was a great shame not to have been able to see it in the cinema because of the music.
And the fact I could see that.
But the big orchestral pieces, you would just be completely swept away by in a cinema, which you just can't get from a TV. No matter how good your home sound system is, you are very unlikely to be immersed in this.
I've seen some home sound systems that could do it.
Outside the price range of most mere mortals.
Oh yeah, good point.
So which was a shame. I also found personally the first half a bit slow, and I was quite easily distracted during it. Again, given being at home, I think for my own distractibility, I would have done better being in the cinema, because I wouldn't have been able to fiddle around with my phone and check how I was, finish off Wordle or whatever found thing I managed to find myself doing at the same time. So I think that, given the layers of it as well, I think that did it a disservice. But it was breathtaking. It was absolutely breathtaking. Their Oscar nominations are spot on. If either of them were to win, I would be entirely supportive of it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, so as I said, I have 40 minutes.
What's it up for? What Oscars it up for?
They both got best actor, best actress.
It's actor, actress, best picture, definitely.
Right. And they are all I have a spreadsheet.
I think Bradley Cooper. The thing about this is because Bradley Cooper's also directed it, and as I said, I'm 40 minutes from the end of it. But this is one of those things where when you stop and think about the fact that he also directed this, you're like, how the hell did he do this? Because his performance in this film, it is the most like. There's times. Okay, Bradley Cooper is Bradley Cooper. He is a film star. He has film star looks and everything like that. He has a whole bunch of charisma. This is the first time I watched a film and forgotten I was watching Bradley Cooper.
Wow.
Because because his voice has changed to be more like Bernstein. His mannerisms, because this film it isn't really like a whole biopic. It doesn't start from his beginning of his life or anything like that. It starts on the morning of when he gets his big break, when he's 25, when he's 25, and they call him and they say the conductor can't make it, the backup conductor can't make it. You're gonna have to step in. And as a 25-year-old American, he steps in at Carnegie Hall. He conducts this thing. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's a star!" In a way that probably goes over the head of most people who are not into classical music. And the way he meets with Carey Mulligan's character. He meets with Felicia quite quickly. They grow old quite quickly. Like it doesn't spend a whole bunch of time with them being quite young. It just sort of like jumps.
Which is where you go through the black and white and then into the color.
Yeah, it just sort of jumps, and I think a lot more of the film. There's a reading of this film in which it's about her and about how he ruins her life, like how he ruins her life and because
and their children's lives.
Yeah, well, then it's I don't know, I haven't gone to that bit yet, and it's kind of like, but it's about him, and this goes into the whole sort of like tortured genius kind of thing where he is great at what he does, but he is just horrible to everybody around him, and it's like that whole kind of thing was like should he be indulged because she is in awe of his. Of him, she's like, have an amazing gift, you are brilliant. She pretty much puts her life on hold to run his life. And he just sort of takes everybody around him for granted. Like she knows what he's like. I mean, there's lines in this where she goes, "Look, I knew exactly what you were when I married you, but you like consider me." So there's a reading of this film in which it's kind of like, I mean, bearing in mind that this is okayed by the man's family, but I was watching it going, he's kind of like the monster, and she's kind of the protagonist, and it's about what he did to sort of like destroy this woman's life and everything like that. But I think the music that I've just finished watching the scene, which is like a one-take shot. It's like a one-take shot of him conducting, which he actually learned how to conduct an orchestra properly for the film. So it's a one-take shot of him conducting this orchestra and everything like that. And it is kind of like a wall of sound, and you're like, oh my, and you can see how much he's into it because he looks like he's having relations with the music. Let me put it that way.
You see what I mean though about how you would be blown away by that in the cinema.
In the cinema, it would be. Well, I think some people would find it overwhelming. Some people would find it like totally immersive. But it's like, but yeah.
I think both of those would be legitimate responses to it, though. To the music and the experience it is both, overwhelming.
Did it not get a theatrical release then?
I think it did, but a very short one because
it was about 2 days or something ridiculous.
It can't be up for the Oscars if it didn't have a theatrical release.
Gotcha.
So it would have had a theatrical release, but it would have been like a short thing. It would have been a short thing, and it's something that's beginning to happen. Like for instance, you have Argyle. Killers of the Flower Moon and Argyle they're both financed by Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
But they went, okay, go into cinemas for a while and then you're ours. Yeah. And so both of those are going to disappear onto Apple TV Plus pretty soon. But anyway, Holly, as the only person,
it's I'll just say it's up for actor in a leading role, actress in a leading role, picture, cinematography, makeup and hairstyling, sound and writing.
I think the makeup and hairstyling one, I was watching it going, yeah, makeup and hairstyling, 100%.
It would be interesting after the Oscars, post Oscars, when we do a show to see what our personal choices would be. So
yeah.
I mean, I know what probably mine would be at the moment out of the nominees, but
yeah, I would be thus far. For actor and actress, I would pretty much be happy with anybody winning though, because I thought they've all been marvellous. But I'm giving it a 5. I have to say, 5? I think it is It's a really special film and it warrants its Oscar nomination. It's beautiful, it's well acted. Every single one of those nominations feels like a legitimate choice.
I'm
And
just
I was
really.
blown
I,
away.
I have to be honest with you. I am. Right, well, Carey Mulligan's performance, everybody has raved about it and everything like that. And maybe because it's understated, his performance is a lot more showy because that's just the characters. One of them was a lot more showy than the other. And hers is good, but maybe because it's a bit more understated, I don't quite see what everybody is raving about. At least, well, hey, I got 40 minutes for her to convince me. So,
Give it
but
that 40 minutes.
yeah. So I will not be giving it a rating because I don't think that would be right. But so 5 stars for Maestro.